My pleasure. Let's dance. Without mercy. Is that fear I smell? Let the bloodshed begin.
What is up, guys? Welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to play Katarina, a fun AP assassin. We will be starting off with a Q here, so that is the dagger that can hit 3 targets. We're starting with this because she's a melee champion, meaning that you will get poked down a lot if you're playing against ranged champs. So with a Q start you can just stay back, and then when these minions are low HP, you will Q, make it bounce, and then hopefully get a couple last hits. Just stay back here. Lost a little bit of HP, but it's fine, we got the 3 minions. And you can see the dagger dropping on the ground here. So when you step on it, you're going to deal damage in an AoE. So your Q will drop a dagger on the ground and your W will as well. And the damage you get from this, that's actually most of your damage on this champion. So it's really important that you try to have the enemy champion nearby, like really close to the daggers, so you can abuse that damage. Just stay back here. So the passive, the dagger part is one of them, and the other part is that when you get a takedown on an enemy champion, meaning a kill or an assist, your ability cooldowns will be refunded by 15 seconds. So that means that all of your basic ability cooldowns will be completely refunded, and your ultimate will also refund a huge chunk of their cooldown. Not completely, but if you manage to get a couple takedowns, then that will also come up a lot faster. You have the E, which is a blink. And if you step on the daggers on the ground, it is also going to reduce the cooldown of that E. You can see right now it's not instantly reducing it, but it will be a lot faster later on. And then we have the W, as I talked about. That's another way of reducing or like getting that dagger on the ground. And that is what you want to play around. So this champion can be pretty weak early on. But usually from level 3 and onwards, that's why you can start looking for stuff. So there are a couple different ways you can engage. You can engage with your E first, but when you do that, you really have to make sure that you have a dagger on the ground that you can use, because it's going to help reset the cooldown of your E. Just gonna keep auto tagging him because we have the rip buff, so just kind of consistently proc it. I don't have a ward, unfortunately. I could have warded here and then E to him, but it's okay. We got a takedown. So you can see, this is the type of champion where if you accidentally give him 1 kill in a fight, he's just gonna snowball out of control, because it's going to reset the cooldown of all the basic abilities and also put the ultimate on a much lower cooldown. That's why people hate playing as this champion. And on top of that, she also has a lot of on-hit stuff in her kit. But we can go ahead and reset now.
My pleasure.
Brand is coming. And then you can of course E over here. So there's also different ways that you can place your Q, or like the daggers on the ground. Because it's going to appear behind the target. And if the dagger on the ground is like halfway here, you can E to the other side. So that kind of works as your free mobility. Then the next item will be going for the Nash's Tooth. Of course, you like to get tier 2 boots early on this champion, because first of all, it helps you dodge a lot of incoming abilities, and also Katarina wants to roam a lot. Like, if you get stumped in lane, this champion just roams. You don't care about the wave state, the state of the minion waves. This is one of the few champions that just roams no matter what. So having tier 2 boots allows us to do that a lot better. So we just try to push this out. And then you can just E out. You can see right now, even though you're picking up the daggers on the ground, it is not completely resetting the cooldown of that E, but it's going to be a lot faster later on. Now I have the ultimate up. So it's going to make you throw out a bunch of daggers to enemy champions. And the good thing here is that Katarina does not need vision of the target. So for example, if Akali was in her shroud, you can still use that ultimate even though you don't have vision of him. The only requirement is that they are within range and targetable. I think the Diana is pretty mad.
An enemy has been slain.
But just try to look for roams. If you can't do anything, you can also just take out the vision cones and the blast cones just to make it a bit more difficult for the enemy jungler to find ways to gank your teammates or yourself. Persistently playing around the cooldowns. Preferably you want to have all your basic abilities up. Even though you are ahead right now, remember you do not have any straight up damage. You have the sock shoes, so you don't have HP either. Okay, they're doing fine. You can also just E to the minions, guys, but when you go in, the moment you E in, you want to play use your W immediately because it's going to place a dagger right on top of you. So you can pick that up and then help reset the cooldown of your E. And at the same time you also throw out the Q. You do that because it's going to appear behind the enemy champions, basically allowing you to blink twice. Because it's going to reset your E twice with the W and the Q. Bran can be a little bit annoying. He does have the exhaust, that's why I'm not going in right now, because I could risk dying. They're just gonna chill for a bit. And then we can just back off. And of course you can also E to anything that is targetable. So not only enemy minions or enemy champions, but anything that you can target. Let's get some AP here just for the wave clear. Because it is being a hybrid champion, dealing lots of mixed damage as well here, especially with that ultimate, so it can make it a bit more difficult to counterplay. Then she can go for 80 items as well, but this is like the most built stuff on Katarina. So now that we want to look for an engage, preferably you want to have your W up, but you can like Q the minions here, so the daggers are pretty close, and then when they overextend, you can use this to get close with. He's gone. And then that W also gives you a little bit of bonus moon speed, so you can use that to like dodge stuff with, or to get within range, or even escape. But that was the ultimate. You can see when you're using that ultimate, try to press your W before using it, because it's going to make it so your E also comes up a lot faster. So the basic combo, all-in combo, is that when everything is ready to go, you E in, then you immediately press your W, and if you have time you can also press your Q, and then you use the ultimate. And if they flash away or dash away, then the daggers on the ground will help you consistently reset your E, so you can just keep chasing people.
I like it.
So we have a decent amount of stacks on the Dark Seal. But the reason I do not show Meta Soul Stealer at the start of the video is because this item is very situational. You can upgrade this if you are snowballing and getting a bunch of stacks, but if you do not, then avoid building it, because it is not worth it. Same thing again, everything is ready to go. You can also just go for short trades, guys, with the electrocute. You don't have to press E right on the center, you can also do it on the side here. The key thing here is that you always try to get your E to reset so you can keep chasing. Also another thing here, because your ultimate is a channeling ability, what's really important is that when you engage, you try to play around the CC the opponents have. Because if they cancel out your ultimate and they're very strong in extended fights, there's a very high chance that you're losing it. So try to play around the CCing abilities before you use that ultimate, and also their mobility if possible. If you can win the all-in, you just go all-in, but you can also go for short trades, where you just get a couple trades off and then you E out to save team. Oh, okay. That's actually my bad. I did not notice that one coming in. I think we could have killed him pretty easily, but it is what it is. And we just consistently try to look for roams. In this case, my teammates are doing well, so I don't have to do a lot of stuff. Diana coming in as well, okay. We saw that. Hopefully they saw that as well. I'm just gonna give them some wards.
To the point.
She's 0-3, but she's actually decently strong.
An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain.
So really do be careful when you engage. Is that if you don't have a chance to reset your E, then be extremely careful engaging, because you don't have a way out. I like to throw the Q behind the minions like this here, so I have like an easy way to get close. That's pretty easy to go. What's happening top side? She's gonna reset, so I don't think I can do anything, so I'll just keep pushing. If you cannot find kills mid like this, then just try to roam as much as possible. Of course, really have to abuse that or the daggers on the ground to wave clear as well, because as I said, most of your damage is in that passive. But because you're building stuff like the Nash's Tooth, because this champion scales off of on hit, attack speed,
Keep friends
and of course also AP,
enemies.
which this item offers, then this is like the perfect first item purchase that you can get on Katarina. Not sure what's up with the pings, but it is what it is. So we're playing against a squishy team. They are very squishy, that team, so we just focused on getting lots of magic pen and flat AP. And if necessary, we'll get the void stuff later on, but this will help the one-shotting, which also has great synergy with the electrocute. But if you're playing against a tankier team, you can consider getting the Rift Maker with the Conqueror. You can even build into some 80 items. Waiting for the Q to come up, so you E in, then W, then Q, and of course you can also throw out the ultimate in the process.
Intriguing.
So this wave is gone. Of course, when you want to push out the wave, you want to use both parts of your passive with the Q and the W. There's a Diana coming in. Let's see if we can make stuff happen. They're pretty low HP, making sure they don't really have any vision. Hopefully they don't have any sums up, that would be a disaster. Look at the amount of daggers on the ground. This is why this champion is so annoying to play against. Because if you accidentally give her one kill in a fight, it's just going to completely reset the basic abilities and then also put the ultimate on a much lower cooldown. So you just consistently blink around in fights, making it extremely difficult to shut it down. Okay, flashed over. Once again, I'm lacking some vision, but this time I bought the sweeper. Because when you're roaming, you want to make sure that the opponents do not detect you in time. We could afford to do this because he wasted his abilities, so this champion can easily dive. The thing you have to make sure is that you have something that can help you get out. So as long as there are a couple of minions over here, you can dive. And if you get the takedown, your basic abilities including your E is going to reset, so you can E out to a minion. There's a ward here, I'm just gonna roam. Not sure if I have time to take it out. You might be resetting over here, so let's just check to be sure.
I like it.
Right, just being a little bit careful in case she had the ultimate up. That's why I do not use the ultimate immediately, because Diana has a pull-in, which is going to cancel out the ultimate. In this case I am extremely fed, so it doesn't really matter, but if this was even and she cancels out the ultimate, she wins. Pay attention to how fast that E is coming up now when you pick up a dagger on the ground. It's almost instant. That's why you just have to be patient until you get a couple levels in. Honestly, this is not worth it. It's a lot better to get this. We can get the Megas afterwards. Usually you like to get it
Guessing.
right after Nash's Tooth, but in this case I could straight up afford the rocket build, so it's a lot better to get this now. But if I only had enough gold to upgrade Megas, I would have went for that.
Why?
But this, of course, flat magic pen, and then you also get that extra gap closer. Just making it that much more difficult to look for any place
Been slain. Rampage.
for the opponent.
An enemy has been slain.
She's dead. Maybe we can take the fish.
An enemy
Go
has
for
been
it.
slain.
We have the rocket belt. We get the brand too. We might be able to get him. And just look at how fast that E is coming up now. Like, it's almost instant, the reason. It's not 100%, but you can see it's coming up almost instantly. So that really makes a big difference compared to the early game, where even if you pick up a dagger, there's still a short delay. Alright, we can peace out. We should be going for the Drake. But my team is doing well, so that's all great. Let's back off here. Can go ahead and purchase the mid-ice.
Never play
Now,
fair.
you have a couple options. You can go for Shadow Flame if you want to. A little bit more high risk, but I like to get the
Ally has
Sonias.
been slain.
Because at this point I already have the damage, but I also need the safety. Which the Sonia's Hourglass provides me with that active. So basically it allows me to play more aggressively, while also having that extra defense. So I can go complete ham and then be safe with that Sonia's Hourglass active. So E to the minion.
Shut down.
Oh, he actually had that up. I thought he used the Q.
Unstoppable.
Or he just came off cooldown. See if we can roam bot here. He's probably going to reset. I'll just push out the side wave, or maybe not.
No going back.
He's going bot side, so no point in us sharing the XP, so I'll just stay mid.
Dominating.
And the wave is just gone instantly. He might have the exhaust up again. I did not pay attention to... I actually think he used it on the Hecarim previously. It's not really worth it for me to die right here, just because I have 1k shot down. And also lose the meta stacks. So just chill for a bit. Also remember that your E is like an auto attack reset. I don't know if I mentioned this, but... can actually help you a lot with the early trades. So this champion can definitely cheese early on, even though she's not the strongest. First few levels you can definitely make stuff happen, if the opponent is not paying attention. Okay, maybe we don't want to do this. She's pretty tanky. Even though she doesn't have that many items, but she's a bruiser, so that's how it goes.
Keep friends slow.
Or a fighter rather.
Guessing.
Just whoring around, and they FF. So that was how to play Katarina. Really hope this was helpful, guys. Thanks for watching, and see y'all next time.